This here is from Variety, and it says, Khan rolls out red carpet for Johnny Depp, but will audiences be as welcoming? It's from May 15th, 2023. It's obviously negative because the assumption should be, here's the star. Movie's coming out, looks good. If it was somebody else that the media really likes, would they ask that question? Will the audiences be as welcoming? Well, guess what? Yes, they will, because the audiences and the people at large, the vast majority, like Johnny. I'm going to start with the end of the article because they give a history on Johnny, recent news, things like that, and they answer this question at the end of the article. Eric Marty, head of Comscore France, says French audiences have always had a soft spot for Depp, so it's actually kind of positive. That is firstly because he's considered half French, having lived in the country for many years with Vanessa Paradis, a famous French actor and singer with whom he had two kids, including Lily Rose Depp. He also starred opposite Charlotte Gainsborough for a brief but cult scene in 2004's I Cannot Read That, but let's just say in a famous scene. Marty also pointed out the Pirates Caribbean franchise and his other work has been hugely successful in France, where even a Depp bomb, okay, they have this phrase, Depp bomb, like Alice through the Looking Glass performed well. But Jean DeBarry will test the actor's enduring popularity in the country. Jean DeBarry will be the first Johnny Depp movie since the trial is over, so we'll see how it fares, said Marty. Keep in mind, this is at the end here. It's somewhat positive. They had to mention that Depp bomb thing as if it's Johnny Depp alone, and the context and the story and everything about the movie's got nothing to do with it. I mean, it's Alice. Like, I wouldn't think that would be some groundbreaking, interesting thing a bunch of people would want to see. But the point is, they throw in some negativity also. However, before this, they get into a whole 4 or 5 page history lesson of what's going on recently. It starts like this. Johnny Depp's once white-hot career has flamed out in the wake of many scandals, but the controversial actor has every reason to expect a movie star welcome when he hits Cannes on Tuesday for the premiere of June Dabari. So, a mix of negative and positive there. But honestly, you can't get a positive from a negative and a positive. That's always a negative. So, I still gotta say, I think their headline is negative. I mean, they're not saying they think he should be warmly welcomed. They're saying people will. It's never Variety's opinion agreeing with the audience. They're always questioning the audience. They say it's his first leading role in 3 years, a period of time in which the star has mostly made headlines for his ongoing legal battles with ex-wife Amber Heard. Well, you know what? After those battles were over, Johnny made a lot of headlines. Dior, Fenty, MTV, Jeff Beck, we forget real fast. Or we don't want to say that directly after the trial, Johnny burst back on the scene. They want to make it seem like it was just because of the trial that Johnny made these headlines. They got to mention Fantastic Beasts and how Johnny got let go, and they say that Khan pushed back on suggestions that it shouldn't be offering Depp a platform. Because why wouldn't it? Depp was found to be innocent, he won the case, and 90+% of the people are on his side. They do put a quote here about Freemax, the guy who defended Johnny, the captain, I think they call him, of the film festival. They have a quote of his that doesn't totally make sense to me. If Johnny Depp had been banned from acting in a film, or the film was banned, we wouldn't be here talking about it. How do you ban acting in a film? It's either you are in the film or you're not, but seems like the wrong word. It's probably translated, but okay. But then they do mention that he's got his upcoming movie with Al Pacino, which people aren't quite talking about yet, but obviously they will be. But again, they kind of use it in a negative light, like he's promoting that instead of Gene Dabari. Okay, that's his choice. I'm sure Mywin knows. I'm sure the film festival knows. I'm sure there's no big conflict about it. Probably no big deal. After all, it is also Al Pacino, who's like a legend. Can Johnny make a business decision? And they say that another Film Festival in America honored Johnny. I'm not familiar with it, but okay, good on them. It's called the Deauville American Film Festival, if I'm getting that right. They said Johnny told French journalists that City of Lies was kidnapped. Or the director said that. Not totally clear. It doesn't matter so much. Variety's not great at writing, although that's what they do. They mentioned the Sun case. Whoa! Where did that come from? Good writing, Variety. Mention the Sun case. It's so relevant right now. And then they do mention the $20 million contract with Dior. So, like I said, they've got a recent history lesson. And don't forget, this came all before one of the positive things they said. Okay, so I gotta admit, they said something somewhat positive after this headline, but there's a huge wall of text between the more detail on the positivity. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Doing shout outs, special thanks. Thank you to Laura B. She sent this to me. That rhymes unintended, but there you go. If you don't subscribe here, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.